The Minnesota Timberwolves may have just saved their season with a very underrated move on their part. Now, everyone definitely heard it because they sent D'Angelo Russell back to the Los Angeles Lakers, but I think overall, when they got Mike Conley in return, I think they did get better in a sense, because I think Mike Conley is a much better fit for this team than D'Angelo Russell was, although I don't think Mike Conley is nearly as talented as D'Lo was. Now, hear me out, I know that might sound a little bit crazy, because a lot of people really like D'Lo, and he was a very good scorer for them. I just don't think the backcourt of him and Anthony Edwards was ever going to work out, and we saw in the beginning of this year, it was not working out. Now, you could argue that was because Rudy and Cat just didn't fit together, but I think it was a combination of both Rudy and Cat not fitting together, and D'Lo and Anthony Edwards not fitting together, because D'Lo and Ant both play kind of the same way. They need the ball in their hand to be effective, they have to score the ball, and they just weren't going to ever work out. But now Mike Conley is a vet who, at this point, does not need the ball in his hand that much at all. He is a more than willing passer, he's a solid defender, and I just think he's going to fit much better with Anthony Edwards overall, because I think there's a lot less ego on that side of the ball, and he's going to be able to pass better, and he's going to get Anthony Edwards involved, he's going to give him the ball in better spots, and overall I just think Mike Conley is going to do a much better job at doing all the dirty work for Anthony Edwards, so he doesn't have to worry about it at all. And it's kind of like one of those situations where it's like an addition by subtraction type of thing, because like I said, D'Lo was the more talented player and still is the more talented player, especially on the offensive end, but Mike Conley is a better defender than D'Lo, and that's, I don't think, very questionable. Now, he's not the same defender he once was, but he is still a very smart and solid defender, and I think most of all, offensively, like I said earlier, he's going to get his teammates involved in a way better way than D'Lo ever could, because he doesn't have the smart IQ and experience that someone like of that Mike Conley status would have. And even if you don't really agree with the trade, they definitely just had to change something. And the only way they could really change something was by trading D'Angelo Russell, because I'm getting that in a little bit later. But I mean, they obviously were proving that their experiment of the two twin tower system of Cat and Rudy and the backcourt system of D'Lo and Anthony Edwards just was not working out the way they thought it would. They had tons of money invested in three of those players, and they were going to have to invest a lot more money in D'Lo in this offseason if they wanted to keep him around, which I don't think they were willing to do. So I think that was a big reason why they traded him, and they just weren't working well together. Their season was nowhere near where they wanted to be. I'm pretty sure they were under 500 with that core. So I think for sure that they just saw that it was not going to work, and they had to change something if they wanted to be any type of legitimate playoff threat. So I think that is a huge reason why they did it. And like I said, they almost had to make this trade, because Anthony Edwards, if you look at all the contract situations, Ant is on a huge extension. He's going to get a ginormous one. Karl-Anthony Towns just signed a 4-year, $224 million deal. Rudy Gobert is on a ginormous contract as well, and D'Angelo Russell was the only expiring contract going into this season. So unless they wanted to give D'Lo probably $20 to $40 million, somewhere in that range, they weren't going to be able to keep him around anyway, so they kind of had to trade him or let him walk for nothing. So it was better that they got anything for him opposed to getting absolutely nothing, letting him walk in free agency, which he most likely was going to do, because he probably saw the writing on the wall for that team as well, that they probably didn't have the brightest future together if he was to stay, because no one is trading for Rudy Gobert's ginormous contract. He's just not worth it at this point. Karl-Anthony Towns, although is very much worth it, is not many players you can find that can match a $224 million contract, and Anthony Edwards, they're not going to trade him for a long time anyway. So, like I said, they kind of had to change something up, and this was really the only way they could do it in a significant way. So I think overall, it wasn't a terrible trade at all. They got a better fit on Mike Conley. I think he's going to help this team work a lot better. I know they just got blown out in their first game, but it was their first game together. Karl-Anthony Towns didn't even play okay, so I still have faith in this team for sure after that one game, and I think they are going to look much better as the season goes on, and they might even be a legitimate playoff threat and hard to beat, because it's always very hard to beat a team with talent in the playoffs. Karl-Anthony Towns is legitimately a top 5 center when he plays at that level. Rudy Gobert is one of the best rim protectors in the entire NBA, and actually the best rim protector in the NBA when he is at his peak level. Now, if he can get there, we don't know, but we know where he can be on that defensive level. Anthony Edwards, although he hasn't taken the leap people probably want wanted him to this year. He definitely can be a almost superstar level scorer when he is on. And then Mike Conley is just that veteran presence that's going to be able to keep everybody calm, lead this group of young guys, and be like, we can still win, and maybe even take like up a little bit of a Patrick Beverley role. Now, obviously, he's a lot different than Patrick Beverley, but he's still a veteran that's going to be able to lead this team. And that looked like that helped the Memphis Grizzlies a lot last year, was having someone like Patrick Beverley. So I think having someone like Mike Conley to kind of fill those shoes could go a very long way in making this team better in the long run and making them more confident and giving them an actual direction of where they want to go. But unfortunately, guys, that's going to be for this video. So if you did like the video, point to the like button and subscribe button. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Minesota won this trade, lost this trade? What do you think they should have done? I want to hear our thoughts in the comment section below. If you did like the video, point to the like button and subscribe button. It means the absolute word to me. And I hope you have a blessed day, because I had a blessed day, so you need to have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah.